So again, I broadly welcome and support the National Youth Justice Strategy. If, however, adequate resources are not put into the various organisations and clubs that are mentioned in the document, and there's not meaningful cross-departmental and agency cooperation, it simply will not work. So when you were talking about crime, I mean, there is an imbalance between what is invested in prevention and early intervention and what is put into the prison service at the other end. And it's unfortunate because we have to try and keep as many people as possible from getting involved in crime and ending up in the prison system. Like the vast majority of young people are good young people, and if investment was put into the backgrounds of those who live with poverty and deprivation, we could solve or prevent a lot of problems, because the drug problem is escalating everywhere. Also, as a former teacher, I think the school completion programme was an excellent programme. It still exists, but it's not as strongly resourced. I think there were cutbacks around the time of the recession, and we need to put the resources into that, because the longer we keep young people in school or in training of some sort, the more it is, or how better it will be to keep them away from crime, away from drugs, away from getting involved in trouble. Sinn Féin have argued that tougher sentences need to be given to criminals who engage children in serious crime, and my party colleagues, Deputies Ward and Kenny and Mitchell, have introduced the Coercion of a Minor Bill 2022, which made it a standalone crime to use children for drug-associated criminal activity, with a maximum sentence of 10 years. I mean, it has passed second stage in the Dáil. It should be progressed as soon as possible. I mean, also the Garda Youth Diversion Programme does excellent work. Again, it needs to be better resourced. And just saying, coming from Cavan, we've one of the highest suicide rates in the country. We were roughly double the national average. A lot of this, I believe, not all of them, but a lot of them are youth suicides, and they are very much connected to the misuse of drugs. People are taking drugs now that they don't know what is actually in them, and it's causing serious depression, serious problems, and we're looking at families who are absolutely devastated at the loss of their young one. And I think a lot more has to be done in providing youth services, which are seriously lacking in Cavan. So unless you're interested in sport, and they do great work in different sports clubs, there needs to be more investment in young people to keep them away from drugs and keep them away from crime for as long as possible. Thank you.